From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, August 16th. It's going to be a beautiful Wednesday. A cool but comfortable start this morning, and then we're going to get lots of sunshine with great conditions for this afternoon. Just a really perfect day. It doesn't get much better than this. Highs are going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s. A local law professor says the fourth new indictment against former President Donald Trump could be the most complicated case Trump is facing. Trump and the other 18 defendants face racketeering or RICO charges in Georgia. The federal government designed RICO laws in order to prosecute members of organized crime, such as the mafia. iTeammate spoke with Steve Sanders. He teaches law at Indiana University. Sanders indicates the case could be difficult at trial because prosecutors will have to convince the jury by linking a series of complex events together.
A jury could decide that this person, didn't actually do any of those things, or were not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that this particular person was involved in that enterprise.
Sanders also says the other cases against Trump could complicate the Georgia charges depending on which case goes to trial first. Space and timing may also be troublesome in the Georgia case. Trying 19 prominent people at the same time will require a courtroom large enough to hold everyone involved, including attorneys, defendants, witnesses, and the jury, and for the calendars of the judge and all of the attorneys to work out. The district attorney wants all 19 defendants to turn themselves in by next Friday.
We've planned for months to really understand the day-to-day, really coverage of what this looks like. And I've said this before, we're ready.
That was the Fulton County Sheriff speaking just there. Now, Mark Meadows wants his case to be moved to federal court, arguing that as Trump's chief of staff, he was serving in the White House during the 2020 election, making it a federal matter, not a state one. And today, Mike Pence speaks at a convention in Indianapolis. The National Conference of State Legislatures Summit is underway at the Indiana Convention Center. Pence is the only Republican presidential candidate speaking at this year's conference. His keynote speech started at 8 this morning. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist is there. You can catch coverage throughout the day from him on Wish TV and wishtv.com. Also today, a youth basketball coach is set to appear in a Shelby County courtroom for the first time. Lakita Carter is charged in a fight during a game at Triton Central High School. The fight happened last month during the game between the Cincinnati Indians Elite and the Dynasty Sports Performance Heat from Kentucky. There's video of it. You can see this on wishtv.com. It's players surrounding and chasing the referee. Carter is one of the coaches. She's from the Cincinnati team. According to court documents, Carter made comments about Jessica Harrison's officiating, then attacked her. Investigators also say Carter's 15-year-old son hit Harrison at least twice. DSP Heat's coach says the Cincinnati team wasn't happy with the score.
The rumor is they called her racist, which she's an African-American, but I think she said something in the quotes like, "Why do you act like that when you play against white kids? Like, take a loss, and it's just a game."
Carter faces felony charges of criminal confinement and battery. Indianapolis police say they believe 3 men found dead in a school parking lot died of drug overdoses. IMPD said last night that the coroner will determine the official causes of death. According to police, the men were found Monday morning inside an SUV at Jonathan Jennings School 109. Police say a 4th man was found alive and intoxicated. IMPD hasn't identified any of the men. Indianapolis city leaders have taken the first step forward in creating a funding for the new City Office of Equity, Belonging, and Inclusion. And City County Council's Administration and Finance Committee passed the proposal last night. Ben Tapper is already in place as the city's first ever Chief Diversity and Equity Officer. He says the work of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, allows people to listen, learn, and understand. Opponents argue it's just another cost in the city budget.
DEI is to ensure that we're creating spaces where everyone can feel valued and like they belong. And belonging doesn't mean we're all the same. It doesn't mean that there are no differences, but it means we understand how our differences allow us to fit together better.
It's great that we're trying to get more inclusive and everything, but for me, I look at this as a spend when this could be someone's task inside of the department, whichever department it may be, to do these things.
If passed, the office would exist within the mayor's office and would receive nearly $690,000 from the budget. A full council vote is set for September 11th. The president of a local library board will soon be out in the latest twist in a series of controversies. Noblesville English teacher Bill Kenley will take Laura Allerding's spot on the board of the Hamilton East Public Library, which serves Fishers and Noblesville. By rule, the Noblesville School Board appoints one of the members of the library board and voted last night to make the change. Hamilton East has faced intense scrutiny over the adoption of a new rule, giving its board the authority to decide where to place books. Famed local author John Green brought the issue into national focus with his criticism last week. The change is set to happen at the end of the month. No word yet who will become library board president. The NAACP is asking state leaders to consider communities of color in a new electric vehicle charging station rollout. Indiana is set to receive $100 million as part of a national infrastructure program. The NAACP says historically black communities see fewer infrastructure investments and face a higher risk of environmental deterioration. Leaders said yesterday they want transparency, ethnically diverse workforce hiring, and EV infrastructure near minority-owned businesses.
A failure by the state of Indiana to include the black community in electric charging stations would mean that the black community would not be starting at the starting line.
NDOT says the charging stations will roll out in the next 5 years, and community input will help determine their locations. An official plan for the EV charging stations is expected to be finalized by the end of the year. In Lake County, Hammond is starting a sweeping new policy to cut down on violent crime. All of the gas stations in the city will soon close overnight. The city's mayor is set to sign a new ordinance today after the city council approved the move Monday. The ordinance will require all 37 gas stations in Hammond to close from midnight to 5 in the morning. It's set to take effect November 1st. Stations can apply for exemptions. And another company is closing an Indiana plant. Arrowhead Engineered Products has notified the state that it will shutter its parts facility in Jasper, eliminating 52 jobs on or before October 14th. It's the latest of several companies to tell the state in what's known as a warn notice that they're closing facilities. The total count of looming job cuts is 830 just since the start of the month. Rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson heads into tonight's practice with the Chicago Bears as the team's official starting quarterback. Head coach Shane Steichen made the announcement yesterday morning. Our sports team says Richardson found out during a 2-hour-long meeting with Steichen. He beat out Gardner Minshew and Sam Ehlinger for the starting job. Richardson went 7 for 12 with 67 passing yards and an interception against the Buffalo Bills last weekend. Today, Colt City is open from 4 to 8 at Graham Park. Anyone who donates to Kicking the Stigma will get a Colts gift. Practice with the Bears runs from 6 to 8. The Colts host the Bears Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium. North Korea finally speaks about the American soldier who ran across the border from the South last month. The North Korean government had been silent about Private Travis King since he went missing last month. The U.S. government says he bolted during a tourist visit to the border. He was facing possible punishment back home because of an arrest for an assault during his service in South Korea. Through the government-run state media, North Korea claims King was disillusioned with America and racial discrimination within the Army. King's family is asking the North to at least allow them to have a phone call with him. Officials in Maui say the death toll to the wildfires is now 106. A mobile morgue unit arrived yesterday to help officials work to identify the remains. Officials also released the first names of those killed last night. They say 74-year-old Robert Dickman and 79-year-old Buddy Jantok are among the dead. Maui County officials say 3 other victims have been identified. They say their names will be released once their family members have been notified. The parents of the football player who inspired the Blind Side movie are responding to Michael Orr's claims that they used him to enrich themselves at his expense. Sean and Leanne Tui called the claims outlandish, hurtful, and absurd. The former NFL tackle filed a petition earlier this week to end a conservatorship and seek compensation. Their son, Sean Tui Jr., who is not named in the lawsuit, refutes claims that Orr first discovered the conservatorship this year.
There were things back in 2020, 2021 that were like, if you guys give me this much, then I won't go public with things.
The Tuies claim the petition is part of a shakedown by Orr. Another breakfast brand is getting into the booze business. Already this week, we've told you about Dunkin's canned cocktails. Now, Kellogg and Sugarlands Distilling Company are launching Eggnog liqueur. The companies say it's an Appalachian sippin' cream that pairs well with waffles. Another country is banning Barbie. According to news reports in Algeria, that country's government has ordered movie theaters to pull the film, even though it's been out nearly a month. No word yet why. Kuwait, Lebanon, and Vietnam have all banned the Barbie movie for various reasons. A new analysis is casting doubt on Alec Baldwin's account of the fatal Rust movie set shooting. Baldwin has said he only pulled back the hammer when the prop gun he was holding fired, killing the movie cinematographer. Prosecutors are weighing whether to refile charges against Baldwin. They commissioned a forensic service in Arizona to examine the gun and markings. The company concluded yesterday Baldwin had to have pulled the trigger in order to release the hammer. Prosecutors have said a decision on new charges is coming, but haven't said when. To business headlines, drivers hoping to squeeze out one last trip before the Labor Day holiday and school begins are finding pump prices that have surged to their highest level this year. Strong demand and a series of refinery outages have pushed the national average retail price to $3.86 per gallon. It's according to the American Automobile Association, 7% higher than a month ago. AAA says the current average in the Indianapolis area is $3.93 a gallon. A month ago, it was $3.51. Amazon said its online pharmacy will automatically apply manufacturer-sponsored coupons to more than 15 insulin and diabetes medicines to help patients access discounts pledged by the drug industry. That means insulin and diabetes drugs will cost as little as $35 a month. Disney has been accused of withholding profits from TSG Entertainment, a longtime financing partner of its 20th Century Fox studio. The suit alleges the company withheld profits and cut deals to boost its streaming platforms and stock price. The group has helped co-finance around 140 films produced by 20th Century Fox, which Disney acquired in 2019, including Avatar, The Way of Water. Disney didn't comment. Verizon's 5G speeds are about to get faster ahead of schedule. The wireless carrier announced that it's gained access to C-band spectrum it purchased back in 2021, 4 months ahead of schedule. The carrier says that once a device gets the software update, customers will start to see the effects of the dramatic increase in bandwidth in the immediate next few days and weeks. Hackers could use artificial intelligence tools to steal user passwords with near-perfect accuracy by listening to an unsuspecting person's keystrokes. When the AI program was enabled on a nearby smartphone, it was able to reproduce the typed password with a whopping 95% accuracy. It's according to the study results published by Cornell University. And finally, a freshman at Ben Davis is starting classes at his new school while waging a battle that may resonate with people. He's fighting a chronic health condition. His name is 15-year-old Xavion Garner. He's got more on his mind than just textbooks. He's educating others on his chronic disease and showing them it's not getting in his way of finishing high school. Lakin McGee reports.
At Ben Davis 9th grade center, 15-year-old Xavion Garner is studying for his favorite class,
computer science.
His teachers know about his sickle cell disease diagnosis, but it's something he's kept quiet about to his classmates.
They might understand what's happening because maybe in their family they might have diagnosis too.
Sickle cell disease is an inherited disorder where red blood cells become hard, get stuck, and clog the blood flow.
It's kind of hard because you be going in pain most of the time. Like when it's raining or if it's cold, you gotta take your medicine, go to the hospital, get checked out, get blood drawn.
Xavion gets blood transfusions every 5 weeks, is in and out of hospitals, had 13 collapsed lungs, and has been in the ICU multiple times, making him miss a lot of school.
He comes to our clinic about once a month.
Steve Yockey is with the Indiana Hemophilia and Thrombosis Center. He helps Xavion with an education plan.
There's accommodations that not all kids have, obviously, and by letting them know these accommodations are out there, it evens the playing field for them as far as when it comes to school on a daily basis.
A big part of his job is being the liaison between the school and his needs.
He knows how to advocate for himself. Mom's a very strong advocate for him.
Up the school stairs and around the corner in the hallway, Xavion and his mother Shannon notice a display about cells, health risks, and how to save lives. Shannon says she carries the sickle cell trait, but did not know until Xavion was diagnosed at 2 months old.
It's hurtful to see a 2-month-old baby just screaming in pain, and there's nothing you can do besides sit there and watch. So, with him having sickle cell, sometimes people think, oh, it's going to stop him. He's sick all the time. But, I'm a parent that pushes, and I let him do whatever he wants. I'm not going to stop him, but
it can be nerve-wracking, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is, especially when they go in the hospital where, they He has migraines as well. So with his migraines and with the sickle cell, he's also at stroke risk.
That's why they work closely with Yaki to hold meetings with the staff and teachers to educate them on his diagnosis.
You know, I don't have to be at home like, okay, what's going on? I'm worried. What are they going to do?
I asked Xavion if he was nervous to start high school.
I was scared because high school is very hard than middle school.
Well, you know what? You've overcome a lot of challenges since you were 2 months old. So I'm pretty sure high school, it's going to be a breeze for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And as Lakin reports, Xavion is not letting his sickle cell disease stop him from continuing his education. In fact, he's already started college courses to get a head start on his future. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and like us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.